Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. What a joy to be here, and thank you all for coming. Steve, I suppose, like you and like all red-blooded members of the London delegation, I rose before dawn this morning in a state of some hangover, and I went for, as I'm sure you did too, Steve, I went for a run along the beach, and since I had no gym shoes, I ran barefoot on the sand, rather like the opening scene of Chariots of Fire. Have you ever seen that? complete with slow motion. And it was a fantastic day. I went all the way past the Carlton and then the Martinez, then all the way up to the marina, and then back. It took me about an hour. And what did I notice on the way back? What profound thought that I noticed how the sea had come in and erased my footprints, ladies and gentlemen. And I thought I took a deep lesson from that, because that is the fate of so many of us, isn't it? That is the fate of all of us, so many of us politicians and lawyers and journalists and allied members of the service industries. And that's why it's such a pleasure to be here talking to you who leave a lasting legacy, the developers. You may not know this, but 200 metres from my office in City Hall, there is the most withering retort to all those who say that London is in the doldrums, and the most incredible proof of the resilience of the London economy, because you can see, day by day, week by week, the adolescent growth spurts of the Shard of Glass, which will not only be the tallest building in Britain, but the tallest building in Europe. Do you know that? And I'm thinking of moving into it just for the view of France. And it's absolutely true. And if some of you may have come here via City Airport, I don't know if you came, anybody come from City Airport, you will have flown over the prodigious, and you've looked down and you will have seen the prodigious advances of the Olympic Delivery Authority, the mushrooming of the stadium, virtually complete, the velodrome, the aquatic centre, the Olympic village of 3,000 homes, the colossal Westfield shopping centre, the biggest John Lewis this side of the other John Lewis. In fact, they have made such progress. People don't realise this in Britain. In fact, it's a good news story, which is why you don't hear much about it. They have made such progress that I have even wondered whether we should hold the Olympics a year early, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be ready in 2011. Let's get it out of the way. I think we should. I think there is a strong case for us in Britain to catch the rest of the world napping, and call a snap Olympics and win more than one gold medal. And I ask you, why are the Brits here today in such overwhelming force? I think it's because, like me, people realise that London presents fantastic opportunities for development and improvement, the like of which you cannot see in any other city in Europe. And that is because London is unlike any other city in Europe, my friends, in the sense that I am the proud mayor of a territory that spans 656 square miles. And if you want to make a comparison, I've just been to see the Paris stand, and the distinguished mayor of Paris presides over a territory of about 80. I mean, nothing wrong with that. I'm sure he's a very distinguished man. Mr. Delano, I cast no aspersions on it. But it is a fact, and that is because ever since the Battle of Waterloo, as it happens, it's just absolutely true. 1815, in case Mr. Delano has forgotten it. Ever since the Battle of Waterloo, London has benefited from, and it is quite true, it's unlike any other city on continental Europe, London has benefited from peace and prosperity that enabled us to dismantle our urban defences much earlier than continental cities and to move ever outwards. London is the most extensively rather than intensively developed city in Europe. And it is in that incredible expanse that opportunities are to be found today. Because London today has a far smaller population than it did in 1911. Did you know that? Far smaller, about 1 million smaller than it did in 1911. It is smaller than it was in 1939. It is smaller than it was in 1961. And that is why I see such incredible potential in areas like Vauxhall, Nine Elms Battersea, all that, where we at last have the chance to make sense of that great redundant power station in the surrounding land. And would it not be a fantastic thing? Would it not be a fantastic thing if we had permission from the government to go ahead with tax increment financing, yes, to allow us to create the new tube stations that will give life to that fantastic potential development. I might mention Brent Cross, or the green zone we are creating in the docks. When I say a green zone, I don't mean a green zone like in Baghdad. I mean a fantastic new zone of environmental technological development. And we are, the LDA, is going to be bringing forward in the next couple of months fantastic plans to make that happen. And, of course, when I say we're doing it, and I speak of the LDA and all the things that we're doing in the public sector, I mean, of course, that you are doing it. And you will be creating these things. You will be seizing these opportunities. And our job in City Hall is very simple. It is to create the conditions, the right planning framework, the right platform to allow you to get on with what you do so well. And those basics will be, I hope, familiar to you all, but I will recapitulate. What we need to do is to make London the safest big city on earth, and it is. We are using our budgets, as I hope you'll have seen, to keep the housing market moving as far as we possibly can. And we are now proposing today to go further by creating a London-wide housing company into which the LDA will put some of its considerable land holdings and encouraging others, particularly local authorities, to do the same, so that we effectively de-risk land and encourage development, particularly, we hope, development for the private rental sector. And it is our job to create public spaces that will last and be loved, and we are harnessing the energy and excitement of the Olympics to do that across London. And we have a budget of, I think, more than £200 million for urban realm improvements of one kind or another. And we are improving the environment in all sorts of ways. We're on target to retrofit 1.8 million homes. We're promoting combined heat and power schemes across the city. We're planting millions of trees, and we are championing electric cars. We are going to install a thoroughgoing cycle hire scheme and cycle superhighways. And all these improvements and developments are really underpinned and made logical by the colossal investment that we are making as a city in public transport, in transport infrastructure. We are making the biggest series of investments in London's transport network since the Victorian age. London is not only the financial capital of the world. It still is the financial capital of the world, in spite of an article you may have seen in the FT the other day. We have more people in the financial services industries in London than anywhere else, including New York. It is also the artistic and cultural capital of the world. I don't think you would deny that. It is also the scientific capital of the world. Did you know that? It is. So many great scientific advances and developments have taken place in London. Ladies and gentlemen, those advantages persist today. They persist in all London boroughs. And with the pound where it is, there has been, believe me, never a better moment to invest in the greatest city on earth. And let me say, in case you think I'm being excessively chauvinist, mes amis, why? Give me one final clinching reason why London is the greatest city on earth and the best big city on earth to live in. Do you know what it is? Because it is, amongst many other things, it is also the 5th biggest French city in the world. There you go. Merci. And see you next year. Thank you.